All right, Earth Day is about ways to clean up the planet, but for Sam, the sommelier, it's about tasting earthy wines or sustainable wines. So let's head into the Make-Believe Wine Cellar and see what Sam has for us today as we come out here. Look at Sam is all right. You know what's so funny, Sam? I'm gonna put someone on the spot. Watch this right
Cheers.
here.
Okay.
So hold on. So, hey Jen, come here, Jen. Come on in, because you heard wine, didn't you? She heard wine. Come on in. Jen, just come on. This is Jen, one of our salespeople. Come on in, Jen. I want you to learn about this. Come to stand here. This is Jen. This is Jen. Just stay here. You're not mic'd up. Just stay here with me.
Here's some wine.
So here goes some wine. I know it's a little early, but there you go. So all right, let's talk a little bit, Sam. Sam the sommelier. So about we're talking Earth Day, but we're talking sustainable wines. Jen here is going to learn with us about. Do you know sustainable wines, Jen? Yell out, Jen.
I don't.
Great. Are you going to learn?
Love
Okay.
it.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
So,
Right.
I mean, it's Earth Day, right? Taking care of the earth. What is more important than making wine that we love in a sustainable way? Sustainability is just simple. It's making wine in a way that is not harming the earth, anything around it. We call it the terroir. The French use that term for soil, climate,
Terroir.
Mother Nature. Yeah. Well, all these wine bottles in front of us have in common are they're all from the Central Coast, the Paso Robles region. I was able to visit them in person a couple weeks ago and see firsthand what it truly means to be a sustainable wine winery.
And where's that at?
Central Coast. Have you heard of like San Luis Obispo?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd fly to that airport, 30 minutes away is going to be Paso
So it's California.
Robles. Yes,
Okay.
California.
All right, when you're saying the coast,
Yeah,
I mean,
I forgot we're in Arizona. This is a local
Right.
Arizona show.
Did you know what she was talking about?
Yeah, I did.
So she did. Okay, she did. She knew what she was talking about. Okay, all right.
Love it.
So, all right, let's start down here where I'm at right here. So
Yeah,
this is really nice. What's this one?
Again, these are all Paso Robles, so Castoro. So this is going to be one of our red wines. So I wasn't able to pour us all of the wines. I wanted to kind of pour us a little bit. So if you want to pick up that one, we'll talk about. How about let's talk about
that one?
the
Okay.
one that we poured.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about this
All right,
one.
I'll let you hold that.
Okay.
All right. Because I'm not a red wine person.
Okay.
Long
So,
story. We
Brad,
know.
when I was telling you we were doing Earth Day, you're like, oh, earthy wines. And I
Right.
love that. So that could kind of tie into it too. So do you know what like earthy means in wine? When someone
really.
says, yeah. And I feel like that's a term thrown out there so much. And we just kind of nod our head when someone says that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So earthy is literally just meaning you getting your sense of the earth, dirt. So when I was studying wine, I was really having a hard time understanding that. I would go lick rocks. I would dump water on dirt and lick it because I wanted to know what wet gravel tasted like, because people would just say that with a straight face, and I didn't want to be a fraud. I wanted to really know what it smelled and tasted like. So I was a dirt licker, a rock clicker, whatever you want to call it. But to me, that's earthy. That is getting the earth in your mouth, and if you do that, you really know what earth tastes like.
All right. So you're saying I need to.
Don't put your tongue on the cactus.
Oh, but you said like if I want a cactus taste or something, I need to really get into it.
Yeah, you really do. If you really want to understand it, if you want to kind of make it easier on yourself and not go lick things outside, think about it as a scent, okay? Sometimes our aromas, our nose is so powerful that it could translate into a taste, right? It smells so bad, I could taste it. It smells so good, I could taste it.
Right.
So we're being kind of literal on that. So take a sniff of that one. Give it a little swirl. I know these glasses are kind of funky.
It smells great.
Does it smell good? Yeah. So you might be getting something like fruity, jammy, or earthy. There's only really two things to go with, right? And the whole point of a good, complex red wine is getting both. You're looking at me like, yeah, Sam, it smells like a red wine. I get you.
It smells good, actually.
Does it smell good?
And I'm not a huge red wine person.
Not a huge. Yeah. So she's not. Okay. You're not a red
Can she
wine
have
person either.
No.
Can she have a sip of it?
Can you allow to have a sip of it? What do you got going on today?
Sure. My clients are in there.
Oh, sure.
I want
go
you to
ahead.
feel for the tannin. So take a big sip. Don't be shy.
Don't worry, she'll take a big sip. Don't worry. You don't know Jen, do you? She works with me. She
like
doesn't know.
grabs the bottle and starts chugging it.
It's very smooth.
Love that. So she says smooth, so like smooth tannin. So they're not really like gripping on your tongue or on your cheeks. So could you drink this like just on the couch watching Netflix? Yeah, cool. So this is a couch wine.
I'm not a red wine person, but
Yeah.
So we can find a red wine for anyone who says they don't like red wine. Same with white wine. So I love doing that because there's so many different styles. So kind of going back to the sustainable side of this winery is you could feel good drinking it because they're trying to make it in the best way, not just for you, but for everyone, animals, plants, everything. So sustainability, it's not easy to do. It's a very expensive process, actually. People want to cheat the system.
And what's the one she's having right now?
So this is the Arborist. So this is going to be the Arborist. It's a blend. So I love it when they actually tell you the grape varietals on the back. It's kind of complicated looking at a label. So do you know those grapes? Syrah, Petite Syrah, Grenache,
I want to show people so they can see that there's on the back there that you can see what they talk about. So that's another way too to go learn about them.
And unfortunately, most wine wine labels don't do that. You know, they just say the name of the winery and you don't know what the grapes are. So I love that they disclose the blend. They even give you some tasting notes. You know,
Yeah.
they say refined silky tannins. So that's a fancy way of saying smooth, silky, smooth,
tannin.
velvety. So you nailed
That's
it
right.
without even looking at the bottle. So wine tasting's not that hard. Just go
She
with your
knows
gut.
silky. She knows silky. That's right. We know silky, don't we?
The one that I'm drinking,
yes, what are you drinking?
this beautiful rosé. What I love, obviously, I love this winery. Tablos is so beautiful, but they actually disclose the ingredients on the wine label. Have you ever seen a wine label that has ingredients listed?
No.
No, and every time I tell people there could be egg whites in your wine, they're like, what? How do you know that? I'm like, it's just something, you know, wineries could do. So I love that they disclosed what is in this wine, literally ingredients.
Yeah.
Regenerative, organic, certified grapes, tartaric acid, minimum effective sulfites.
Okay.
So to not go too much into sulfites, everyone sees them as the enemy, but sulfites are naturally occurring in wine. When you remove them, that's not natural. So having a little bit of sulfites, nothing added on top of it, is a good thing. I always say there's more sulfites in a container of In-N-Out French fries.
I like it.
So drink
There
your
it
wine.
is. There it is. Drink your wine this day. When is the next tasting, teaching coming up?
For what? For
For
me?
you, yes. For when are you coming? I mean, you're always doing these little things.
Oh,
When's
so
next?
I do in-person and virtual tastings
Okay.
weekly, virtual daily. I work with clients across the globe. So even though this is local to Arizona and I love my local clients, you could book me from anywhere, which is great. So if you're here in Arizona and want to taste with someone in New York, you guys could get together and do that. And these wines in front of us ship to most states in the U.S. They do, in fact, ship to Arizona. We might even have some wine shops that carry it, like Total Wine and More, Bevmo, and we'll be sure to have that listed on the segments page.
Love it. Okay. Okay. Tell them where they can find you, Sam.
SamanthaSommelier.com. My Instagram is Samantha Sommelier. Type in that, you should be good. Say sommelier. How do you-
Sommelier.
Sommelier. I don't even say it French, so whatever
But I
works
do
for
know
you.
how to say one thing, and that is happy birthday to you. Happy
drink.
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sam. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
So there you go. All right, we got our sustainable and earthly wines. Come on back because we're not done celebrating Earth Day here on The Mix.